Hi Engineering Janta, I am Vaibhav Shukla and today we are going to talk about the preparation plan, the strategy to prepare for the placement in Infosys in 2025. Look, Infosys, TCS, Wipro, these are the companies that students from Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, every college. In every college, we have aspiring students for these companies. The reason being, specifically in final years, offers become important. People need offer letters, right? नौकरी सबको चाहिए होती है. And these companies often recruit in huge numbers. And if you have seen my live on YouTube in which I covered the placement scenarios, I had covered this in detail that how job opportunities in 2025 would be humongous. So you have a great chance of being hired here. And companies like Infosys, TCS, they offer better packages as well for profiles like specialist programmer or the TCS digital, right? So in this case, talking about Infosys, we decided as a team that when the opportunities are about to pour in, let's prepare our students in a manner where they are proactive in their preparation strategy. Okay, I'll also discuss the exam pattern so that first you understand how the exam will be taken, and then I'll go ahead with the preparation strategy, how to prepare for the same. Okay, look, coming to the preparation plan, just understand the nature of exam. This exam has 5 sections, okay, and you'll have huge chunk of applications. So think it in the terms that huge number of people would be rejected in the first rounds. So you need to be very, very thorough with the written exams, okay. So the written exam has 5 sections. Time duration is 100 minutes. It is an adaptive test and there is no negative marking, okay. Now when there is no negative marking, what usually happens is you have these sections, these 5 primary sections, and in them there is no negative marking as such, but there's the time crunch that you have. You need to be super fluent in practicing the questions so that you don't fall into the trap of time crunch, number 1. Number 2 is, while you're practicing these sections, you need to be thorough with the different changing patterns of the exam every year, okay. So every year there are certain new set of questions or some questions whose theme is repeated but the question is different, right? So you need to be thorough with them, and that is why you should understand that how exam is being taken. The first section is reasoning ability and we have 15 questions and 25 minutes of time. It seems that time is enough, but the level of reasoning questions is quite difficult in Infosys. So you need to be very, very good at reasoning questions, okay? You need to practice quants a lot. How you will do that, I'll come to it, don't worry. Now, mathematical ability is the second section. In this, you often have quants as well as mathematical questions which are based here. You have speed maths, you have things like crypt arithmetic, and these are often asked here. Crypt arithmetic, puzzle games are different new things that are being introduced in the Infosys pattern. Every year, you have certain new set of questions in these particular domains, okay? Look, in mathematical ability, there is one thing called as crypt arithmetic, and you can go ahead and search on Google, but you'll find very limited number of resources. How to tackle it, I'll tell you, don't worry. But apart from that, you have speed calculations, various syllogisms, things like that happen in reasoning and verbal places, okay. So this is whole aptitude portion basically. This portion is just aptitude, and puzzle solving is something which is partially in aptitude, partially in logical thinking, okay. So it is somehow an overlapping domain. And apart from them, you have a very interesting thing called as pseudocode. What you have is, you have certain set of codes written and either they expect some output or they tell you to produce a specific set of outputs that should be there, or they tell you that go ahead, tell whether it will produce error or some compilation error or some runtime error. They'll ask things like that. I'll show you examples of that, okay. So in mathematical ability, you have 10 questions, 35 minutes. In verbal ability, 20 questions, 20 minutes. Pseudocode, 5 questions, 10 minutes. That is where time crunches. To solve a pseudocode question in 2 minutes requires expertise in pseudocodes. You can't do it overnight. You need a lot of practice for that, okay. Also, in puzzle solving, you have 4 questions, but you have 10 minutes here, but the level of puzzles is often difficult here, okay. So when you go further, the first thing is how do you prepare, right? This is the basic portion or the basic way how the exam comes in front of you, right? These are the 5 sections. This is how the exam is presented to you. But how do you prepare? That is the main game. So for that, you need not to worry a lot, because as I always say, when I am accountable for you people, I try and make things simpler for you. Okay. So in that case, you simply go to prepinsta.com/Infosys if you directly want to go. Otherwise, what you can do is you go in the prepare section, and then here you reach all companies. Here you can find all companies, and then you can reach Infosys. Otherwise, what you can do is you go ahead and see this portion, Infosys SP and DSC. Here also you can go and find resources for Infosys. But the best part is you go to this link, prepinsta.com/Infosys. Okay. So this will lead you to this particular page, and when you come to this preparation section, what you have is you have divided quants, logical, verbal, full mock test, pseudocode, puzzle. You have sections for them. You'll find that there are certain facts or there are certain information which is written here. So in this case, quants, number of questions 10, difficulty easy medium, importance is moderate, time limit is 35 minutes. But when you come to logical, which includes script arithmetic, you have number of questions 15, time limit 25 minutes, difficulty is medium. Verbal is usually in the range of medium hard. You can see it here, right? And when you come to pseudocode portion, the same lies here, medium hard. So you need to work very, very hard here. And the puzzles, 4 questions, 10 minutes. If they're giving you so much time, it is understood that they'll ask very tough questions in this section, because there are just 4 questions, but they are giving you approximately 2.5 minutes for every single question, right? So if that goes, you are definitely expecting hard problems here, right? So what you can do is, and this is all free of cost for you, fine. What you can do is, you go ahead and start practicing these quizzes. Okay, I'll open a quiz of pseudocode for you. I'll show you, because this is a hard portion. So I'll show this to you. Just look at it. This is a pseudocode portion. You start with it, attempt the first question. Okay. Here you have a question, say I randomly mark any particular answer and it is wrong. 1 is the correct answer, right? I randomly marked it without looking at question. Now just think of it in the terms that when you practice in this manner, you'll realize you're having a piece of code, what you are supposed to produce in the result. See, what will be the output of the following pseudocode for I is equal to 140. You have I as 140, you put the value, dry run the code, and then you realize what is the output, and then you mark it here. Once you've done this question, then you can proceed to the second question, okay? And you can also see the explanation for the same. See, you will have proper explanation for it, and this is all free of cost for you. Everything is free of cost here, okay? On this particular website, when you are preparing, this is all free for you. So go utilize these resources. Now, coming back to the preparation page where we were earlier, what you can do is in every section, you'll have such quizzes, and you can also track how much you've completed. You'll have a time limit. Look, to simulate exam, you need time limits. You need a proper structured quiz to give you an exam-like feeling, right? So that is why these particular quizzes are structured for you, and you have different topics. You can go ahead, permutation, combination, percentages, data interpretation, probability, time, speed, distance. This is all is covered in quants. Okay, a lot of things you will have in quants. If you go ahead and see more C problems on ages, series and progression, LCM, HCF, you have specific topic wise quizzes so that you can perform easily on the quizzes, and later on when you appear in the exam, it will be a cakewalk for you. Coming to the logical portion, see, in logical portion you have arrangement, you have syllogism, you have coding, decoding, logic, and you have crypt arithmetic. This portion is usually ignored by people, and you have a lot of questions from this portion. So for this, you have to have a good grip on these particular topics. How do you get it? Either you search on YouTube. देखो, YouTube पे बहुत रिसोर्स नहीं है इसका. Honestly, YouTube पे क्रिप्ट अरिथमेटिक का बहुत कम रिसोर्स है. सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज यू गो ऑन प्राइम and you go ahead like this. Okay, also on Prime you can brush up your pseudocodes with the pseudocode course. Okay, what you can do is you go ahead in this and start preparing company wise. Okay, in this, for example, in Infosys, this will be covered. The script arithmetic would be very well covered in this particular course, which has the full preparation for Infosys. Okay, so what you can do is go ahead, prepare it from here. Now, if you're somebody who cannot afford it, what you can do is go ahead, try preparing with these quizzes. Okay, ये free of cost है ना? Look, anybody who's preparing with a guided course will definitely have an edge. वो हमेशा आगे निकल जाएगा जो कोर्स के साथ पढ़ रहा है. The reason is कि he has a structured approach, he has a particular person guiding him in the course, right? But if you're somebody who cannot afford it, then also ऐसा नहीं है कि तैयारी नहीं होगी, तब भी धूमधाम से होगी तैयारी. Don't worry. What you can do is go ahead on the site, start practicing these quizzes: data sufficiency, logical deduction, most logical choice, syllogism, puzzles, arrangement. Try preparing it. Okay. Once you're done with these questions, you'll realize what kind of questions lie in this particular topic. Search for those questions. Invest your time in that if you're somebody who is preparing for free, because a lot of times you'll have very troubled approach while studying for these topics. The reason is you don't know the collated resources, or you don't have a place where all resources are at one place. Somebody is guiding you well. That's not available when you're studying on your own, right? So that carries the extra hard work that you have to do if you're studying it for free or you're not paying any penny. But if you're somebody who can afford courses, go ahead, simply dive into the Infosys course, study it thoroughly, you will easily clear Infosys. Okay. And this you can find on Prime easily, very easily. Okay. Now, coming to the puzzle portion. For puzzle as well, you have these 5 quizzes where you'll have designated questions of the same category. Also, you'll have some previous year questions included here and the templates of previous year questions included here. So you will understand the way Infosys asks things, okay? And that will help you prepare well. But apart from pseudocode, to get a very good practice of it, to be very fast while doing the dry run of codes, what you can do is go ahead and open the top 100 code page of Prep Insta. You can go in the prepare section in programming, you'll have top 100 codes. See, in prepare section, you go to programming, you have top 100 codes, and anybody, and I mean literally anybody who is preparing for this particular exam or any exam of Infosys, TCS or companies like that, if you're somebody who's preparing for these companies, believe me, if you have top 100 codes on your fingertips, nobody can stop you from any coding round in Infosys, TCS, Accenture or beat any company. Okay, I'm not talking about huge Amazon, Google or Man companies, because there you definitely need a lot of DSA practice as well. But if you're somebody who is very thorough with these top 100 codes, then on this planet Earth, nobody can stop you from cracking Infosys, the specific pseudocode round. You subject to the fact that you need to prepare for the aptitude as well. But if you're somebody who's good at aptitude and has these particular codes at fingertips, you will easily sail through. Nobody can stop you. Nobody. You will easily sail through this exam. Okay. So this is one thing you should prepare, and once you're done with it, once you have finished this, then there's nothing left for you, and then all you need is practice and practice. You can find the full mock tests as well here. And you'll have full proper mock tests, full length, every section divided in the same pattern as you have in the actual exam of Infosys. Okay, so start preparing now, be proactive. It is high time that you be lazy. Please don't be. Just pick a register, formulate a strategy, write one strategy for you, and then keep on preparing for it. Okay, remember one thing, I always say this to my students. There is a very good line from Harivansh Rai Bachchan, राह पकड़ तू एक, चला चल पा जाएगा मधुशाला, which basically means follow one path, decide it wisely, follow one path, you'll reach your destination. Okay, so you utilize these free resources, study hard, and the pattern that I explained would be almost exactly replicated in your exam. So you need to be thorough with this pattern, You need to formulate your own strategy so that you win according to your conditions. Okay, and you need to start preparing right now, because Infosys is one company. A lot of overlap in other companies would also happen with these kind of questions. So if you're very well thorough with them, if you have practiced well, nobody can stop you from cracking the Infosys. Okay, all the best from my side. All I can say is, whatever knowledge you get at this platform, keep on spreading to the people who do not have access to such information. Or if you feel any of your friends, your seniors, your juniors, anybody who needs such guidance, keep on spreading this knowledge. Okay, keep doing good. Good will come back to you. That's all for today. Have a good day.